everything that you disconnected.
First thing I noticed was the coils were unplugged, so no big deal. Plug those back in. That made sense because the two-step, and then would fire and then die. And then I looked, I'm like, well, maybe the TPS sensor's gone, but no, that was in. And then Rob got here shortly after, and then I noticed the vacuum line was off, and then Rob noticed the map sensor was unplugged.
Yeah.
And one injector was unplugged.
I took this all apart to get the two-step out. Should have been here earlier.
One injector off? That didn't make sense. Saboteur.
Maybe, yeah. I remember though, yeah, it was in the way or the wire was caught under it or something.
Anyway.
Anyways.
That was figured out, fuck, she fired right up. Hasn't started in 2 years.
Fired right up and drove.
It's been
right
that
up.
long? Good thing we didn't take the front accessories off of it and put it on my car.
Oh, we'd be pulling them off right now. And we also just finished hooking up a fuel pressure gauge because the reason, or when we put it away last, it seemed like it was a fuel pressure issue.
Yeah.
And of course, there's no gauges in any of the cars we drive. So.
Basically, once you'd roll into boosted or making any power, it would kind of cut out
Originally we
and
took
go lean.
the line, braided line that was going to the fuel gauge to use as our turbo drain because that was leaking, remember? When it burnt the turbo up, and then we were like, we don't need a gauge, we're good. Until it started running weird, and then now we need the gauge to figure out why it's, if it's the fuel pump or...
Oh yeah, the interior is still pretty complete. Did you do a bunch of things though?
I put the carpet in and I put the...
And it does need a fuel pump that's like a half-hour change because we have a trap door.
Yeah. Oh,
in the trunk.
dogs. Hey.
Good morning. Why are you so red? Really?
All right, well. So, since the last time you saw the car at the drag strip, I took it to a car wash. I made a little Instagram video about that. Tuned it some more. Drove it around a whole bunch on the street. And now we have to check into some problems. It definitely makes some noise. I'm kind of concerned the drive shaft might be rubbing underneath. But let's get it out of this engine swing cage it's in first. Put the passenger seat in, which I guess you guys didn't see, and kind of cleaned up in here again, cleaned all the wood out of it and stuff. Air fuel gauge hopefully is working, or well, the sensor rather. Wow, I noticed it smelled like oil when I had it warming up there, and sure enough it's pretty low, and there is signs of a leak on the driver's side by like the oil filter. There's oil all over that. I'm gonna have to jack it up and figure out the source of that, because on the dipstick it's actually like just below add, so must have been doing that a bit.
I can always just videotape it too. Alright guys, we're gonna go take it for a ride and see if the fuel pressure drops.
Should have checked the transmission fluid in there.
See if the fuel pressure drops, and whether we need to get a fuel pump on. I mean, it went in gear right away when you pulled it in, so chances are. 60 down to 50. It's supposed to go up, not down, right? So that's why I mean, it still was pulling okay there, but
I had one lead pop.
yeah, but see, that's what it was doing. I think it was popping, right? So before we had this issue, and it was inside the tank itself, but we took that apart last time we had it running, and everything looked fine. I mean, we can double check it, but I think the pump maybe just can't keep up. Like, it's working, but maybe it's just...
it doesn't sound, like, just on prime, it doesn't sound
right, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, the pump works, but maybe it's only, you know, instead of being a 450, it's only a 200 or something now, you know, even though it still works. But yeah, like, we had this issue before, and it was inside the tank was causing it, an internal leak, and then we had the return was aerating the fuel and stuff, but I don't think that's an issue this time. Yeah, that's definitely not what it should do. Like, it's like it goes up to 60 and then loses it. You know what I mean? It goes up and then it comes down.
That's an easy fix.
Yeah. So we'll have to order an Amazon special and $100, get her back together, and a giant pop boom. But the shit horse is back. It's running and driving again.
Legend is reborn.
And it took nothing, really. I mean,
A couple comments and
yes, it's the summer of the Foxbodies coming back to life.
we're not careful, we fired on my car right away.
Yeah. Now that would be a miracle.
You guys better run and hide. Coming to get you. Sticky Mickey.
This is just a factory block off plate, and I didn't have the gasket in there. Another consequence of working on things 3 years apart at a time. So there's oil all over the bottom of here. I started wiping it up. I'm just going to continue wiping it up. And yeah, I guess I need to get some oil because it's down a little bit, but I'm glad that should be the fix to that problem. I don't think it leaks much transmission fluid. You can see a little bit, but that's just healthy for an old Powerglide. But I think the majority of it was oil, and then it was like blowing onto here, making it look like the transmission. Trying to blame old Mr. Powerglide. Cam sensor. That seems to fix that problem. Now I'm going to move on to checking stuff in the rear end, see if everything, you know, moves and isn't all bound up, all the suspension stuff that's been sitting outside forever. But side note, these cars have never been running at the same time, so that's pretty cool. They're kind of like alter egos in a way. The Shitmobile, which right now is the 6-liter with better rods, but a shittier, arguably, turbo. And this thing, which is, you know, nice paint, and, well, some of the paint's nice, caged, and only has a 5.3 with Gen 3 rods, so it's a weird mix, but it's pretty sick having all these Notchback Mustangs here, gotta say. Alright, so issue number 2 that I wanted to look at today is under here. And it's right here. You maybe see there's a shiny area. I mean, I've rubbed my finger on it now, so there's more of a shiny area. But it's really tight to the drive shaft loop up, well, at the top, and especially that corner. So this loop is adjustable. I'm thinking maybe there wasn't enough room to the floor to go up to the next holes. So we'll find out, and if there isn't, I'll have to like modify it because can't have that. So I kind of cobbled that drive shaft loop together for now. It should be out of the way though, so we'll see if that noise is gone. I'll have to modify it more later. We're just gonna go for a quick rip because Rob hasn't been in it yet.
I got a seatbelt thing right in my butt. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. If this is too small, I think it could be maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, it looks small to me.
It's just like, it's the ratio too.
Yeah.
It's like, so, the Flaming River rack. So you can see it's not very impressive.
Feels pretty good. Like,
It's alright once it got up there.
yeah. I can smell gas a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of fuel he was getting there.
Mind you, I have to realize the exhaust is right there, so
Yeah.
any exhaust fumes are probably going right in my face. But it feels all right. Definitely feel boosting.
Yeah. Well, it's not making the noise now.
No, that's good.
So obviously that was it. I don't know, I guess the drive shaft wasn't fully bolted on when we were preparing to go racing either, so
Right.
maybe that got changed too by accident. Gotta get a rear view mirror for this thing.
Oh yeah, I see that.
It's pretty annoying.
It never had one?
It did.
Oh.
I don't know what.
Uh-oh. Is it in reverse?
Should be. Huh. What the? Well, hold on, let me try. There we go. Just this switch. Am I gonna drive it?
You're going into the ditch, yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to do that. I'll operate the.
Trans brakes.
I'm the trans brake operator.
There you go. Oh, fun with race cars, street cars.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if that button's bad or I don't want that touching. I mean, it definitely feels like it's fast. Like it.
Yeah, it
you know.
feels okay there. I kind of let it get higher in the RPMs.
Yeah.
We gotta check that gas smell.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's with the alignment, maybe in this thing, but it always seems to like kind of want to like
Oh, really?
when it hits bumps and things, it's always
Bump steer maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Have to take a look at. Or alignment. I think it might just be because the turbo in that is bigger and whatever. It just takes a while before it builds up the boost, right?
yeah.
Where the shit horse, it, say for example, comes on faster maybe.
Yeah, the spool is definitely the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also only 7 pounds, so
Well, yeah.
once it spools slowly like that, but keeps going to like
Yeah.
14, then I'm sure it'll feel pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. Definitely makes the turbo noises.
Yeah, first time the shit horse and the Sonicstang have been like around each other.
Yeah, exactly.
New BFFs.
At least they're not fighting, so that's good. Trying to bite each other.
Fighting over part.
Trying to bite each other on the ass or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Shit horse. I went for a Sonicstang ride and a shit horse ride today. And I'm driving my S10, so it's just turbos everywhere. All kinds of boost things. You backing up?
Yeah.
Okay, we're backing up. I pulled in the thing. Okay. It's a two-man operation, this car. Should be going. You're just on the hill.
Yes. So that's the Sonicstang. Reactions? What do you think?
For me?
Yeah.
I just said it feels pretty good. I mean, it goes, you know.
Yeah. Room to grow. The fuel smell, I assume, is just coming out the little fender exit. Brought it back, and there's an oil drop there, which there is oil on the bottom of that braided hose there, which is the turbo drain back. The fitting on the bottom of the turbo was a little sketch, and it didn't quite tighten up nicely for Clayton, so China stuff, you know, what do you want? This fitting back here was also bad, but that seems to be holding, and where I just did on the side seems to be holding, yet there's still 4 new oil patches on the ground. So I looked into something that I kind of had on the back of my mind for a while now, and that would be the old cam sensor. It has the well, there's the wire, but the front cam sensor on this unit, because the LS9 cam. So in an old video, you might remember that I tried to convert a rear cam sensor to be a front one, and I cut this thing down. So like a couple other things on this engine, I had just placed it on there to fill a hole years ago, and now we're finding these things. So that'll be an oil leak, because there's just a hole in behind the flex plate basically right now, because cam sensor goes in at the top there, but where it actually seals is the next level of the block underneath in there. So that'll be an oil leak, so have to get myself a proper dummy cam sensor to stick in there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is that?
Remember a long time ago I tried to turn a rear one into a front one and cut it down?
Yeah, so you need the stem that goes down and blocks off the...
With an O-ring,
So
yeah.
you could be running like super low oil pressure because that's a huge bypass or something, maybe?
I don't think so.
Why? We have no way to know.
Yeah, we don't, but... yeah, so... I'll have to fix that, because that's a problem, so... I don't know what else we're gonna do today. Going cruising later. Just to chill, super hot, late August. So look at that huge exhaust on the shit horse. Jesus Christ. Cool to have that out again. Definitely a later start today, so I didn't get quite as much done as I wanted to, but still, you know, figured out the noise, the drive shaft, some oil leaks. Hopefully we'll have no leaks after I do those couple things, but I've just been spending some time, those are just empty boxes now, getting rid of the wall of parts and junk I had against Clayton's car here. So we've got like building parts, stuff I'm not gonna need. I'm just gonna hold on to that tack. The wires I'll leave in that box because it's just a box of wires. And then this is kind of a box that I'll like keep in the car, or, you know, stuff that still needs to go on or is like for troubleshooting it or fixing it at the track or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna leave here in a bit and we'll be cruising Portage.
Whole bunch of cans, and now I don't think I have any cans left.
So I figured out the oil leaks.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
Leaking oil everywhere. Like 5 or 6 we fixed so far.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna fix, so.
It's hot.
It's hot. Street cars.
I took my blanket off, or my diaper off.
Yeah.
I figured it was too hot. And then, I guess, I'll show you what happens to an engine diaper if you put it close to something that's hot.
Yeah, the old...
It's weird, it's like plastic. Like
hardness.
it didn't like, you know what I mean? Like I think
yeah.
here's where I made the hole to go around that thing, but then this is where it was like right up against. So I think I'm just gonna have to like trim it here around the exhaust. The rest of it did well.
And it's still dry.
Yeah,
So
no
that's
oil in it
good.
at all, surprisingly.
No part.
Yeah, so that's not good. I knew I could smell something melting or burning. No.
Just telling him about all the oil leaks.
It's melting.
Oh, and
His thing. Everyone's here, so we're gonna roll out in a second.
Speaking of roll out,
probably too dark to really see much, but go for a little walk around here. Apparently they blocked off the normal rest of the parking lot where we normally park. Look at that thing. Oh, OBS City. It's my kind of car show. So yeah, they're probably all about to find out that you can't park over here, because usually in front of Princess Auto is all open here, but they have yellow tape blocking it off. Same as the Tim Hortons, it looks like, or they're at least telling people to leave. So much for this cruise spot. But I mean, they've done this before, and then it goes back to being open. Okay, trapped this guy. What's he supposed to do?
And then it came and it didn't fit. I ended up having to, like, it wouldn't bolt. Yeah, like the bolt pattern was different and the fittings were different, which is weird. What?
Gonna wrap this video up.
Yeah. Did you make a bunch of cruising videos?
I got a couple good ones. Hopefully they like them. I'm not gonna put any music behind them, and there will be wind noise, so you know. Burnout. No, I don't know what I got. I got a good roller of Riley. That's the one shot that
I got the cops are busy up there.
I didn't know they were there. I wasn't gonna do anything, but then everyone was like schooling, bumping. I was like, I'll get out the transport. I didn't realize there was cops up there. I wouldn't have done it.
Well, I thought that's why we were doing it.
Oh,
that's why I did it.
Cops were busy. Oh, trying to get murderers or whatever was going on.
Allegedly.
All of a sudden, Riley's girlfriend's looking because there's smoke like pouring off my back tire. She's like,
Allegedly. But yeah, no, we had to take a detour around downtown. It's good times, but streetcars.
An accident or violence of some sort.
Yeah. Or
maybe just an old lady fell.
a hole in the street.
Anything's possible.
An old lady fell in a hole in the street.
Break into her house, so she wanted all 4 inches.
All right, well, Shit Horse is back. That's kind of the big thing in this video, I guess.
Yeah.
Sonicstang's closer to joining us on nights like these. And racing again.
Yeah.
More boost coming once I fix all the oil leaks. So until then, we'll check you later, because they want to hear it apparently. I read in the comments.
I like it.
Yeah, because it's from Dazed and Confused. Yeah, I just gave it away and ruined the magic, but there you go. Anyways.
Favorite movie, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, all right.
They get older and I just stay the same.
All right.
See you later.
Check you later. Hell yeah, brother.